Hey everyone, this is Joe Brobuscus, and welcome back to another Let's Watch of Battle Royale. It's been a while since I've done one of these, um, and it's really just because it's been a while since these episodes have come out. Um, now, uh, some people in the comment section of the preview for this episode. Okay, so before I get into the nitty gritty, this episode is Yoshi versus Spyro. It is an episode that I am very excited for. But before we get into the actual episode itself, I'm going to preface this one thing. So people in the comment section of the preview for this episode were really tearing Crossover X apart because of it's been a while since Guts vs. Wolverine came out. So yeah, people are getting really impatient and really frustrated with how long it's been since an episode has come out. And heck, the guys behind this channel themselves are pretty frustrated about that too. But one thing you guys need to realize is that these guys aren't Death Battle. They aren't Screw Attack. They aren't like super high budget teams. They're not professionals. It's like Screw Attack has like a huge budget going for them. They're a company. They're literally a company. These guys are just a team. That's really it. They're not gonna be pumping out episodes like once a month or anything. That's not gonna happen. They tried, like they did Sub-Zero versus Cool Diamond, and then they did Guts versus Wolverine the next month, and it was working out. And then after Guts vs. Wolverine, it was supposed to be Lane versus Yang, if you guys remember that. I don't know the state of that episode. That hasn't really been talked about in a while. I'm going to go under the assumption that it is still happening, but we will see. So yeah, but people in the comment section treat them like they're Screw Attack, like they have some sort of like big schedule that they can manage, and as much as they and a lot of other people would like for that to be the case, they really don't. And sometimes life can get in the way. I know this. Why do you think I'm not posting videos as often as I did in the glory days of my channel? Maybe I'll make new glory days. I don't freaking know. It's just life. Like sometimes things will happen that kind of keep you from doing YouTube videos. Should be like a hobby, not necessarily a job. You can't really set yourself a deadline for these. They just have to be out. They just have to be public when they're ready, kind of thing. You can't set a specific deadline, and these guys know that now. After the whole problem that went down with Lane and Yang. So yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that the people in the comment section, shut up and be patient. Or you can take your things, take your hurtful words, and get the crap out. Anyways, now that I've got that little rant out of the way, Yoshi versus Spyro, I am so excited. I love both of these guys. I am so excited, but I'm also kind of upset because really, like, either way, one of my... Okay, so Yoshi is not my favorite Mario character, but he's definitely up there. He's like, he's up there with like Bowser and... Okay, Bowser is my favorite Mario character, to be completely honest. But Yoshi is definitely up there. He's like second or third. It's him or Donkey Kong. I don't know why. It's just those two characters kind of intrigue me. Anyways, and then there's Spyro, who was pretty much half of my... It was pretty much like... I don't want to say half, because it was like more than two. But he was basically... like, I guess he was kind of half of my gaming childhood. It was him and Crash. yes, I played like Mario games and Sonic games when I was a kid, but it was usually Crash and Spyro for me. So Spyro is definitely a very uh, uh, Spyro is definitely a character that I am attached to heavily. Um, he's part of my childhood, like not just in terms of like my gaming life, but also just kind of my life in general. Um, Now I have not played the Legend of Spyro games, although I really don't intend to. I think they look pretty bad. I have played the first three Skylanders games, and I kind of fell out of the series after that. Um, I watched one episode of Skylanders Academy, and that was because Crash was in it. Um, and yes, I will be getting the remasters because they look freaking glorious. um, so yeah, um, but Yoshi is also a pretty big character in our and not just my life, but in our family's lives too. Um, uh, Both Dylan, my sister, and my mom are both huge fans of Yoshi. They're he's like their or it because I guess Yoshis don't really have genders. Um, Yoshi, anyways, is um, I'm going to go ahead and assume that he is. I'm just going to say he. I don't know. I don't care. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that he is Dylan and my mother's favorite Mario character. I think that's safe to assume. I don't know my dad. I never really thought about that. Um, Anyways, whatever. Um, but yeah, so me personally, as much as I love both of them, I am definitely rooting for Spyro. I definitely want Spyro to win. Um, but if you saw my prediction video that I did a couple months ago, and by a couple months ago I mean back in April, I think. It was like a day or a week before the Spyro remakes were announced. I don't know. Anyways, uh, if you saw that video, if you didn't, I will hopefully put a link in the description. I forget to do stuff like that every time. Um, but if you can't, if I don't put a link in the description, just search through my channel. You'll find it. Um, yeah, if you saw that, basically, long story short, is that I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Yoshi's gonna win this one pretty handily. And that makes me very, very sad. But also kind of happy at the same. Kind of happy. I literally just said that. Okay, me. That's great. This is gonna be a wonderful video. Um, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I really, really hope it. I really, really, really hope Spyro wins, but I also really don't think that's gonna happen. Even though they are including the Legend of Spyro, which gives Spyro an immense boost in power. Um, yeah. Basically, if you want to know why I think Yoshi's gonna win this one, either watch this video because if I did a good job with my prediction video, then I'll basically come to pretty much the exact same conclusion that these guys do for this one, which is that's me highlighting how close my prediction video was to Guts versus Wolverine compared to the actual episode itself. We were very close in terms of like why Wolverine was gonna win that one. But yeah, so if I did as good a job with my prediction video for Yoshi versus Spyro as I did with my prediction video to Guts versus Wolverine, then Yoshi's gonna win for pretty much the exact same reasons that I said in my prediction video. But if that turns out to not be the case, regardless of who wins, go check out my prediction video, because I'm not going to explain it here. I'm just going to go into it because I've already wasted like almost 10 minutes, and this video is almost 40 minutes long. Yay. Alright, so I've had enough talking. I have this thing up here. I don't know if I ever showed this off, but I have this thing here. I don't ever use it because it kind of blocks off some sound. It's supposed to block off like background sounds. Like if I have a dog that's probably downstairs sleeping right now, and if he starts barking or whatever, that would be used. That and this would be used to cover it up, but I didn't use that because it also covers up me sometimes, and it's kind of annoying. So, and I don't have a way to. Oh, actually, I do. I'll take it up later. Anyways, let's get into this. And okay, I need to make her and play.
Before this episode begins, I'd like to preface with something important, and I would be remiss not to bring it to attention. My name is Ray, known better on the internet as Meatloaf Man, and I'm the showrunner of Crossover X. I've headed and helped produce many of our projects on the internet, but none would be as huge of an undertaking as this one. It's been an incredible ride getting to know so many great people, learning new things, improving my skills, and getting to present what I believe to be great content to many different people. The video that you are about to watch was made possible thanks to the combined efforts of multiple different people from around the world, each of whom I cannot thank enough for their help. Pretty much every person on the Crossover X team have conflicting schedules, but even so, they still managed to make great work on their piece of the episode. You'll see some of their names listed in the end credits of this video. I must, however, address the elephant in the room. For those who have been following us for a while and are watching this episode around the time of its initial upload, you might be wondering why this episode took as long as it did to produce and finally premiere, as well as why there haven't been that many of our videos on the channel in between that time. Firstly, I need to express a sincere apology to the supporters of our channel, as in all honesty, projects such as this shouldn't really take an extraordinarily long time to produce, and you guys have probably been expecting some other new stuff to come out way sooner. Consistency is always important, especially with a channel desiring to explore so many avenues with the hope that others will join them for the ride. I do not like delaying or dragging out content, and I'm frankly uncertain why some people would think anyone enjoys doing that. Idealistically, we would love to get new stuff out for you guys on a usual basis. At the same time, I'm going to be completely real with you guys. We are not a studio. We're just a group of individuals with
what was I just saying?
We can enjoy and at our own pace. That's not to say Crossover X doesn't have the potential to have even greater production values, consistent video releases, or a variety of content to keep things fresh. But the truth is, we each have families to be with, school to attend to, work to be at, and more. It is because of this and several other behind-the-scenes factors such as miscommunications, technical limitations, and even personal situations among our associates that videos from us have been sparse. I also want to clarify a misconception. We are not nor have ever been trying to be better than anyone else. While we cannot deny that we have competition we should be keeping up with, a lot of whom by the way are close friends of ours, we don't see ourselves above anybody, and that has never been the goal of Crossover X, period. I've said before on behalf of this team that we simply wanted to be known for more than just our versus fights, not as the best content creators in the versus genre. That isn't
this
to
is
say
me
we give it our
in
all
real
when it
life,
comes
to be
Battle
honest.
Royale, but we certainly don't want that to be our only show on this channel, even if it is the one we're known best by at this point in time. Please refrain from believing in these misinterpretations spread by those unassociated with us. Once again, we deeply apologize for the hefty delay in the release of this episode. Going forward, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure we bring you great content on a more regular basis, even if it takes a while for us to figure out a solid game plan. With that being said, after this, Battle Royale is going to be taking a much needed break to give us some breathing room, more time to develop future episodes, and most importantly, make way for our other awesome shows. We hope you look forward to them, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you for understanding and listening, and enjoy the show.
Completely understandable, to be honest. So, what he was saying before about wanting this channel to not be known just for Battle Royale is literally me in real life. I do death battle reactions all the time. And even though I love doing them, and I will continue to do them, that's not what I want to be known as mostly. That's why I do vlogs. Whatever happened to Candy Nina?
Fiction has brought us a plethora of interesting mythical creatures, ranging from dangerous and deadly beasts to cute and cuddly mascots. However, an adorable outlook can be the perfect disguise for a vicious and powerful warrior. But even the toughest of warriors need some help on an adventure, kinda like today's set of combatants. Two of the toughest reptilian tag teams of video game history.
I'm Manny, and I'll be researching Yoshi and Baby Mario, Nintendo's trusty star child duo of the Super Mario series.
I'm Chelsea, and I'll be researching Spyro the Dragon and Sparks the Dragonfly, Insomniac's legendary Dragon Realm defenders of the Spyro the Dragon series.
I am the fight analysis and conclusion tolerance.
I want those games so badly.
For short, and I will be determining the victor with their research.
Also, yeah, I'm super excited for Smash
I'm Rick
Ultimate,
Rocker.
obviously.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Battle
Those
Royale.
Spyro sprites. Those Spyro sprites must not have been easy to work with. I'm excited.
Mario, the savior of the Mushroom Kingdom, the face of Nintendo. One of, if not the biggest name in video game history. Chances are, if you have any familiarity with video games, you know and love this whimsical Italian plumber. But have you ever wondered where in the world Nintendo's icon came from? I mean, having a rando from Brooklyn save the world and subsequently be the face of an entire Japanese video game company seems pretty far-fetched if you ask me.
Not really? No, Manny, I haven't. I don't really care either.
Wasn't he inspired by Popeye or something? Although, funnily enough,
he really?
does look like my uncle.
Well, just pretend like you guys care, because this Italian plumber actually has some serious lore and history. But to find this, you have to look away from his typical environment in the Mushroom Kingdom and take a trip far off the coast, onto a little island inhabited by colorful dinosaurs.
Wait a second, Nintendo made Jurassic Park a part of Mario lore?
No, that's not... Well, maybe. But in this instance, we're talking about the much smaller and much more appealing species of dinos, the Yoshis.
Cute. But what do any of these guys have to do with Mario's origins?
Well, what if I told you Mario wasn't just some random Italian plumber from Brooklyn? In fact, Mario is a destined adolescent savior of the universe.
Excuse me? Did I hear that right?
It sounds
Introducing the
far-fetched,
Star
yeah.
Children, adolescents born for greatness from a young age. However, one's greatness can be taken in many ways. I say this because along with Mario and his brother Luigi being star children, the tyrannical newborn Koopa royalty Bowser was once one too.
Talk about your terrible twos.
When they were born,
Yeah.
the two were being brought to their ambiguous parents via a stork, because that's how babies are made. This peaceful event was soon disrupted by one
I
of
missed
Bowser's
this.
mischievous and magical minions, Comic. And while Luigi did get captured and
Comic?
separated from
Okay.
his baby bro, Mario was reluctantly found amidst the chaos and was saved by the Yoshis.
Please don't tell me they ate him.
What? Of course not. This is an E for everyone game after all.
From the perspective of a baby, I'm just surprised this isn't the slightest bit traumatizing.
Well, the Yoshis decided to actually help reunite the brothers, as well as stop baby Bowser from taking over the world. 'Cause that's always a plus. Note again, we are using Baby Mario. But even with the younger version of the plumber, the dynamic duo of Yoshi and Mario is extremely formidable. Though sometimes, to take into consideration, they are obviously a plethora of different Yoshis. So for this fight, we'll be focusing on the most iconic and important one, the Green Yoshi.
So, Green Yoshi and Baby Mario. Understood.
What makes this one so special? Wait. Don't tell me that this Yoshi
A star child? Because you'd be correct.
Oh, of course he is.
Already complaining, and I haven't even gotten into the Yoshi's arsenal. You're in for one bumpy ride this episode, Chels. The Yoshi species as a whole is known for its strange anatomy.
Yeah.
That center around eating and swallowing their victims whole. Yeah, I know it's gross, but Yoshi does this by wrapping its extremely long tongue around its victims. While Yoshi's tongue can also be used for swinging, sticking to walls, or even eating projectiles, he does mainly focus on eating entire enemies whole. However, when Yoshi eats an enemy, he can do multiple different things with them. In some instances, Yoshi can convert specific colored enemies into different forms of matter, such as converting a red Koopa into a fireball. But mainly, Yoshi converts his enemies into ammo for his second tool of destruction, eggs.
So he's the little punk egging my house
A
and
regular show. That's awesome.
Breathing fire?
Very much so, because Yoshi's eggs aren't your run-of-the-mill shells. They are shown to be tough enough to bust through metal and armored enemies. He can even generate an eggshell around himself to protect himself from attacks
Pac-Man.
or roll around. But while Yoshi can produce an infinite amount of eggs, hypothetically, He's limited by amounts of enemies and projectiles consumable in the fights.
Still seems kind of limited, if you ask me.
Sis, you ain't seen nothing yet. Being a Mario character helps Yoshi in more ways than one.
Yeah.
He's got an obscene amount of power-ups.
Oh boy.
Here we go again.
Relax, this'll be a cakewalk. Yoshi has the Power Flower, a special floral item that when touched grants the user a specific unique ability. In Yoshi's case, he's granted the ability to breathe searing hot fire. But that's the most conventional Mario style.
Oh, it was because of some, like,
Since with
watermelon or some crap.
Eating, it makes sense
I don't know,
that
that's what I had in my
power-ups
prediction
are
video.
either items or food he has consumed. Mario and Yoshi's adventures in
Mario
all
Galaxy is an
across the
amazing
world,
game.
even into
Mario
outer
Galaxy
space.
3 for Switch,
Super
please.
Mario Galaxy 2, Yoshi gains access to an assortment of different fruits.
Remember, kids, eat your fruits and vegetables. Maybe one day you'll turn into a strong, green, man-eating dinosaur. If you're lucky, of course.
Yeah.
By consuming a dash pepper, Yoshi becomes even speedier than before, allowing
As if
Yoshi
he wasn't
to be
speedy
exempt
enough.
from a lot of the laws of physics, such as running up steep hills to running on water. Yoshi also has the blimp fruit, which can turn him into a balloon to fly, and the bulb berry, which covers Yoshi in a glowing, luminescent aura. And before Chelsea mentions it, I'm aware that these are quite unconventional weapons. But wait till you see what else this dino's packing. Such as the Chime Ball, a giant, musical, wrecking ball!
Okay, Manny, now you're just making yourself look silly.
He also has some guns if you're into that sort of thing.
Excuse me?
You heard right.
Oh
Yoshi's
yeah,
firearms
Mario
consist of
and
rubber
Rabbids
bank
or
spread
whatever.
guns and a giant rabid bazooka called the Super Bazooka!
Okay then. I wasn't expecting a green cartoon lizard to be packing that kind of heat.
I know, right? I didn't know about this.
Now, Yoshi has a lot of forms, but we're forgetting one big thing.
The Mega Egg Dozer!
Ouch. How does he get that out of his
The
ass?
Mega Egg Dozer is Yoshi's most powerful egg.
Okay, I was expecting something like
Everything
that.
in path. It also comes in a metal variation for extra damage. On top of all those weapons, he's picked up a few tricky techniques along his adventures too, namely his ground pound. After bounding high in the air and
But I will say, yeah, I thought Kirby was weird when it comes to, like, eating stuff. No, Yoshi takes it to a whole new level.
Speaking of bounding, he even has his own technique that helps him stay airborne, dubbed the flutter jump, in which he scuttles his legs to create lift. Although
Which
it does
Luigi
tire him
then
out eventually.
ripped off,
He can do it
but
multiple
whatever.
times in one jump to achieve some crazy air.
Okay.
What's wrong, sis? Scared?
No. Spyro actually has some serious firepower. Not like your guy who just has some goofy eggs and a friggin' baby.
Speaking of which, we haven't even gotten into what Baby Mario can do. When detached from Yoshi, Baby Mario can cruise around in an invincible bubble. And while Yoshi usually has to retrieve him, in the Mario and Luigi RPG games, Baby Mario has shown some...
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Such as wielding a hammer almost the size of him. Despite this, Baby Mario can lift and swing this hammer with extreme ease and with extreme power. He's strong
I was kind of a little harsh
which
with
Yoshi has trouble
to
with.
Baby Mario, my
This
prediction
is why I'm
video.
never having kids.
Baby Mario is actually
You'll
pretty.
have a chance to.
Don't. Shut up.
Fine. And lastly, we have both of Yoshi.
Baby
and
Mario's actually pretty
Mario's
competent.
most powerful
Competent.
Super
Whatever.
Happy Yoshi and Super Baby Mario.
You can't be serious.
Does Yoshi hug his opponents to death? Is this weird frog dinosaur thing also a hippie?
No, although he could, given his strength, which I'll get into in a bit. Super Happy Yoshi is the result of Yoshi consuming a heart fruit. This form grants Yoshi an unlimited supply of eggs and makes him nigh invincible.
Though it has a time limit. Right.
Well, yeah.
What super form doesn't have a time
Super
limit?
Baby Mario, on the other hand, is just a form that increases his physical stats even further. It also gives him a
I was about to say it also gives him the cape.
Just look at that little baby in his cape. Aww.
Please play the crying Baby Mario to shut Manny up.
Manny, just move on to feats.
Yoshi is strong enough to throw the Mega Egg Dozer, which is multiple times his size. He's even tough enough to ground pound enemies completely flat and take on loads of Bowser's forces, including Raphael the Raven, who he did this to.
What even? How?
Raphael the Raven was powered up by Kamek's magic, increasing both his size and strength. While battling Yoshi, Yoshi was able to ground pound Raphael and launch him so far that he turned into a constellation. No, he didn't reach a constellation. Yoshi was powerful enough to launch Raphael with such force that he turned into a star, forming a constellation of himself.
How does that even work?
It doesn't.
And besides, that has to be some sort of outlier. There's nothing else that Yoshi's done that even comes close to
But this is Mario, so
I'm
nothing
afraid not,
works.
sis. Considering it was comics magic that powered Raphael, the same magic that powers up superior foes such as Baby Bowser, we can assume they scaled to Raphael. Even Baby Bowser was able to crush Comic flat under a few hits. And Yoshi has taken on this Baby Koopa King more times than I can count. He's even bested an amped adult Bowser, who can survive inside of a black hole. Yoshi's own durability is also formidable. He was able to survive the initial strike from Raphael, which sent him into orbit after all.
Judging by the time frame it took Yoshi to land on the moon and lowballing our calculations using only a low Earth orbit to crunch our numbers, Yoshi must have been sent flying by Raphael at a speed of at least Mach 96.75, making the impact equivalent of 8.81 tons of TNT.
So, building
Not
level.
to mention,
Cool.
Yoshi survived being crushed by Thwomps, Baby Bowser, and even the collapse of his castle. And when it comes to
Mr.
speed,
47,
Yoshi gets even more
40,
insane.
Mr. 47 and a half
Let's bring up
million
Raphael
times the
one
speed of
last
light
time.
here.
In order for Raphael to have been turned into multiple stars equal to other stars, he must have been traveling insanely long distances away, roughly flying across 4.22 light years.
Oh, my computer lagged a little
Considering
bit
the time
there. This
frame
is
it
not
took to do
good.
so only being 2.8 seconds, Raphael would have been traveling at 47.56 million times the speed of light.
Alright, we get it.
What's wrong? Afraid to lose?
Not at all. 'Cause that's where Yoshi's positives end, little bro.
But I'm the older one.
While Yoshi is indeed strong, he still has some noticeable flaws hidden underneath that lovable exterior that hinder what would be a very tough combatant. He more often than not shows that on his own, he is very dependent and requires help from Mario. I mean, how many times do you see him run off a cliff in panic? Not to mention, most of his power-ups do have a finite amount of uses, or have time limits. Really, his main weapon also requires his opponent to make the first move as well. Some great child of destiny he is.
Denial at its finest. Not even a Koopa King's rage can bring down this hungry and happy
Paige.
dino.
If I ever get out of sync with this video, by the way, my computer is very, very laggy. So, sorry.
Within the world of talking and warring creatures, there exists a dragon prophecy. Every 10 generations, a rare purple dragon will be born, and that dragon will bring peace to the entire world. Everyone across the land knows this tale, including the Dark Master.
We're
the
using
ancient enemy
Legend
of
of Spyro's
dragons, who then
backstory.
sends its minions out to destroy a batch of dragon eggs during the Year of the Dragon, to prevent the hatchling dragon from ever crossing him.
I guess that's one way to make a dragon egg omelet. I wonder
True.
what that tastes like.
Luckily for us, the Dark Master never got to find out. The kindly fire guardian dragon named Ignitus managed to rescue the special purple egg before the Dark Master's forces could get to it.
Hi, my computer almost committed death. So, I had to stop the recording for a little bit. But we're back at it now. And this is where I assume I left off. So, play. I'm sorry, I messed that up.
Sunning
Play.
and drifting down a river of a swamp, to where it would hopefully be safe.
Sis, don't tell me you grew up playing games about Dragon Moses.
Put a dash pepper in it, why don't you? Eventually, that drifting purple egg was found by a family of dragonflies, and they took it in as their own. And out of that egg hatched
I'll
the
have to
dragon that
rewatch
the prophecy
this
foretold.
after-
His name was Spyro, and for the first 12 years of his life, he
After
was
I
brought up
finish
as a dragonfly
recording
like the
this,
rest of his adopted
so I can get a
family.
full experience.
Am I the only one reminded of that one mammoth chick from the Ice Age movies?
Don't you dare compare my precious purple boy to those cash grabs. And I'll have you know that the dramatic reveal was much cooler here. And he was attacked by apes, who used dragonflies as lantern fuel. Spyro discovered that not
no,
only
I
was he
saw
strong
that.
enough to fend off the attackers, but that he could also breathe fire.
Longtime
It was
friend
then
of
that his
fellow
adopted
PlayStation
family
mascot
took
Crash
him.
Bandicoot.
He wasn't a dragon,
Yo boy!
but a dragon from a strange, distant place.
So, you mean I'm not your real son?
You are our real son. It's just that you came from somewhere else. Far
Elijah
away,
Wood
where
is an
wars
awful
rage on
Spyro.
and
I'm
on,
just gonna
and his
say that
innocence
now.
seemed to always pay the price.
Determined to find this place, Spyro
I had
set out
nothing
on a
against
journey
Elijah
to find
Wood as a
characters.
person or as an
Alongside his
actor.
dragonfly brother,
I just don't
Spyro,
think that
who was working
Spyro the
same day as
Dragon
Spyro was
is a
found.
good
Although they were chased by enemies,
pick
they
for him.
eventually found Ignitus, and that began Spyro's adventure. No, not the Skylanders game. To rescue
I hear you
the
with
Dragon
the
Guardians
original
and
Spyro
stop the
music.
return of the Dark Master.
Are you sure this is the right legendary purple dragon? I mean, isn't he a little, I don't know,
I mean, yeah.
small for the job?
I'll have you know that his size is a little deceiving. Spyro is packing a lot of power, some of which comes from the weapons he has. Not only does he have fire bombs that he can cause huge explosions with, but he's also got firecrackers that he can shoot to destroy tougher obstacles, like metal chests. Spyro's not a stranger to getting up close and personal with opponents. See those horns? One of Spyro's main
Luckily,
abilities
my
is a
computer
powerful
froze
charge
up like
attack,
more than
which
halfway
involves
through the
driving
video,
those horns through
so
whatever's unlucky
while it
and
may
moving in his way.
freeze up again
Be it
during
rocks, giant
the
doors, and yes, even that.
last bit when I'm
And
just
when
talking
he's up
about
in
my
the
thoughts
air,
in the
he can use
video.
a head bash attack to drop
I
straight down
don't think
and
it's gonna
crush
freeze
anything
up
that's under him with his
while I'm
horns,
actually
too.
watching the video, so
Compound sounds
we'll
cooler.
see.
Oh, really?
Fingers crossed.
Well, you know what sounds better than a flutter jump? Flying, that's what. Which Spyro is indeed capable of. He can use those majestic wings of his to fly, glide, and hover all over the place. And keeping in pace with what you'd expect from a good dragon, Spyro's packing the ability to shoot fire from his mouth, usually in the way of fireballs. It's typically more powerful than his charge attack, too, which makes it a go-to when he's at range. Ooh, and fire's not the only thing he's got packed in his abilities, though. Facts, do your thing.
As Spyro met and saved the Guardian Dragons during the events of the Legend of Spyro games, they trained Spyro in the ways of their respective elemental abilities. This opened up a plethora
That
of
lip sync,
elemental
though. And that mouth animation, though.
in several different ways in combat.
Elemental is chosen one. This dragon wouldn't happen to be related to.
No, Rick, this
Even
is
though
not
it has
Lucky
the
Even.
exact, even though Spyro has the exact same
To
origin
start
story
off,
as Aang.
Spyro's ordinary fire-breathing abilities were taken to the next level by Ignitus, the Fire Guardian Dragon. The very
I say
thing who
that.
saved Spyro's life was an egg.
It's the same basic
Spyro had
chosen
further
one
utilized
crap
the
that
natural
people,
fire-breathing
that other
powers
people have
to
done
master the
better.
element of fire, teaching him how to create fire pillars, rings of flame, and even flaming rocks that rain down from above. Feeling the heat yet, Manny?
Get over yourself. Yoshi's
Yeah.
used to fire. He'll be fine. It'll take a lot more than just that to torch him.
Can't exactly say the same for his yarn counterpart. Speaking of which, do you still sleep with all those woolly Yoshi amiibo next to you?
Don't you dare bring them into this! I know where you keep all your Spyro Skylanders.
Lay a finger on my darlings, and I swear to God.
Break it up, the both of you. Can we get through a single analysis without you two being at each other's throats?
And a pretty glaring opposite to his fire powers.
Is that a
Spyro
pun?
was taught how to use the element of ice by the Ice Guardian Dragon, Cyril. With his super freeze breath, Spyro can freeze enemies in their tracks, and even turn the smaller ones into snowballs. It's even so potent that he can freeze entire rivers with it. And he can also create a chilly field that freezes enemies caught in it.
Now that's a pretty cool ability right there.
Sub vs. Kula was
Thank
2
you.
episodes ago, Rick. Let it die!
You two never let me have any fun.
This might come as a shock to both of you, but Spyro's elemental powers keep going with his electrical abilities, taught to him by Voltier, the Electricity Guardian Dragon. With his electricity breath, Spyro can shoot out
Sorry,
multiple arcs
I
of
can't
electricity,
handle these
deliver
stupid
shock to
puns.
his enemy systems. Our little darling here can even summon small storm clouds to blast lightning at his foes. Finally, there's the power of Earth, taught to Spyro by
Who is,
Tyranor,
by the way, voiced
Earth
by
Guardian.
Kevin Michael Richardson.
While this
So,
doesn't give him a new
that's
kind of
something
breath
I
attack,
guess.
he can use his Earth Flail ability to create a small green ball of energy, which he can swing from his mouth. Plus, he can make it rain rocks on enemies like they're under a mini landslide.
Are you done yet?
Not quite. You see, Spyro still
Ether.
has one major source of power left. The power of Aether. Said to be the true power of the purple dragons, Spyro gained access to it after mastering all the 4 elements I just brought up. It comes in 2 variations, the first of which is Light Aether. When this is used, Spyro shoots beams of energy at his foes, and he can open up portals that summon several giant Spyro.
Which doesn't make any
Walk on
sense,
enemies
but
and chase them down.
I was
That doesn't even make
yeah.
sense.
About as much sense as an egg-laying frog lizard makes.
Touché.
On the other side of this Aether spectrum is, well, Dark Aether, which is a bit more dangerous than Light Aether. Why, you ask? Well, I'll get to that in a bit. Even with all his impressive abilities, Spyro's never too far from a helping hand. That helping hand would be Sparx the Dragonfly, Spyro's technical brother since birth. Sparx' bond with his dragon bro is so strong that he's willing to take hits for Spyro when he's in a pinch. He can only
Whoever was
take so
playing
many
there
hits,
really
but it
wasn't
just
doing
goes
so
to show
hot.
how strong a family bond can be. Well, some. Rex can fly around fast enough to leave slight after images, is smart enough to give Spyro useful advice during his adventures, can shoot small fireballs to help in a fight, and has tons of abilities he can get by eating butterflies.
How Sparks is capable of receiving the kinds of abilities he does from butterfly consumption is beyond even my understanding. But however bizarre it is, the effects from it are certainly beneficial. He can shoot fireballs with shotgun-like spreading capabilities, homing rockets.
What game is this? Oh, is this Year of the Dragon?
A wide arc in front of him, a defensive shielding aura that protects him from damage, and 2 different types of bombs, small and super, with varying degrees of explosion size and.
I don't 100% games a lot, so a lot of side missions I'm not aware of.
Yeah, right. What cool transformation does Sparks have, huh? Nothing that stacks up to Super Baby Mario, I bet.
Well,
Spyro
Sparks may not
does.
have a powerful transformation, but remember the Dark Aether I mentioned earlier? Well, the reason it's so dangerous is that its power can easily overwhelm those.
I mean, that's why Malithor is
And when that power takes over our potent purple dragon, Dark Spyro comes out to play.
as bad as he is.
When this transformation occurs, Spyro becomes an unstoppable being of destruction, who flattens anything that challenges him. He can only use Dark Aether powers in this form, but normally, that's all he really needs. With this immense power of Dark Aether at his command, Dark Spyro can blast enemies with dark energy, and literally turn them into stone with its power.
Well, these final transformations sure went from
That's the Legend of
lethal to
Spyro for
gloomy
you.
pretty fast.
Sure, but is he invincible? No, I don't think so.
Spyro doesn't need invincibility to achieve the greatness his destiny foretold. He saved the dragons from being turned into diamond, has fought all kinds of bad guys from orcs to golems to dark lords, defeated Malfoy alongside Cinder, and saved the world from the Destroyer, which was blowing the entire planet apart.
How the heck did he fix all of that?
Simple.
Yep.
He just pulled it back together.
It's a good explanation.
Pulling the fragmented parts of the planet back together is one of Spyro's most impressive feats, if not the most impressive. By calculating the kinetic energy of a single piece of the planet as Spyro pulled it back together, its power can roughly be placed somewhere in the several thousands of yotatons of TNT.
That sounds like a lot. Is that
Yeah.
all he's got?
Hardly. Spyro's constantly shown to be able to break open large stones and thick metal objects all on his own, smash through thick tree roots with his charge attacks, and he's easily busted down a locked metal door several times his size with a single charge. And aside from obviously being tough enough to slam into all this with his own head, he can survive huge explosions that span entire islands, take TNT-based explosions several times over, shrug off attacks from giant rock golems called the Earth Shapers, and being lit up with electricity.
Additionally, referring back to the feat of pulling the planet back together, the speed at which the calculated mass of land was moving is well over 40,000 times the speed of sound, meaning the land mass is moving at sub-relativistic speeds.
Spyro is one powerful dragon for sure, but his cocky nature and a really heroic attitude usually end up landing him in a difficult situation more often than they help him get out of one.
They won't be there for long.
Wonderful, now
He's also freaking whiny.
Plus, his power-ups aren't permanent. If he runs out of them, it can take a while to recover them and use them again. And that's not even mentioning how situational and location-specific some of them are. And it's worth pointing out that Spyro's still a kid. He's only around 12 years old, so he doesn't exactly have that much formal...
Can we also note that Spyro
Right,
thought for the
because
longest time that he was a
experience is
dragonfly?
gonna help us decide this fight. Evildoers beware, because this heroic purple dragon is always all fired up.
Run! Spyro! Save yourself!
Not this time. This time I fight.
I'll give this to Elijah Wood. At least he actually put some like emotion into his voice acting for Spyro, which
Well
I
then,
can't really
I
say
think
for
it's safe
anyone
to say
else
that of all of our
who
combatants to be
voiced in
featured
the
on
Legend of
Battle Royale
Spyro,
thus
except for maybe
far,
Sparks.
these two have exceeded
But
our
granted, Sparks
expectations
is
the
super
most.
annoying.
This goes to show that looks can be deceiving.
Hey!
However, only one, or in this case two, fighters will come out of this scrap victorious. Which dynamic duo do you think will win? Be sure to take a minute to make a prediction before the mayhem ensues.
Fight analysis complete. I have
Spyro
completed the most
Reignited
likely
Trilogy,
out of
who's
thousands of
hype?
possible
I'm hype.
scenarios and arranged a visual interpretation of their research.
Then you know what that means. It's showtime!
Yoshi's got this, but I really hope Spyro wins. That's what Baby Mario is known for, is just crying a lot. Here comes Spyro to ruin his day.
Spyro, are you alright?
Not one of my better landings.
Killer clutch. Huh? Whoa, look out!
What the? Hey, buddy. I don't appreciate anyone hurting my friends. Sparks, you okay?
I'm awake. What's going on?
It's showtime!
Let's do this.
Hey, wait up!
I'm not gonna talk about Sparks' voice acting because Sparks' voice changes all the time.
Did I get him?
Ow.
Okay, I've had enough.
Okay, that was funny. Spyro, are you okay? Okay, I was about to say. Spyro, are you okay? Not in the watermelon. I'm assuming this is Dark Spyro's. Yep. Baby Mario just got yeeted out. This cheerful music does not go well with Dark Spyro. Oh yeah, he's invulnerable, isn't he? I think this is where Spyro's basically lost. Yep. Oh. Spyro, you better move. Or that. Yeah, okay. Ow. Oh, Spyro's out.
Spyro!
Oh. What happened?
I don't remember. Didn't we have something to do?
Oh, right. Let's go.
Whoa! Hey, wait for me!
Alright, I can accept that ending. Even though Spyro lost.
KO!
Alright!
My poor baby boy.
And that's why Nintendo's still making Yoshi games. Yes!
Come on, Manny. Show some remorse.
No, Rick, it's fine. Kinda realized from the get-go that Spyro and Sparks were fighting an uphill battle, alright?
Really now? And why's that?
Facts, if you don't mind pouring more salt in the wounds.
Here you are, and I am sorry for your loss.
You see, Manny, I may love my pure purple dragon boy, but even I know his larger pool of magic-based abilities and superior intelligence was irrelevant to that large of a stat gap.
You're being surprisingly mature about this one. But yeah, sorry, Chels. Look
Hey!
forward to a remastered trilogy in the future. But for now, let's cover the basis for any misinformed viewers. Like you said, Spyro may have the larger pool of elemental and magical powers, what with Sparks, his fairies, and his exclusivity to Aether, but what good is that when Yoshi's vast arsenal pretty much had a check for anything Spyro could have thrown at him?
I guess it didn't really help that Spyro's forte of projectile-based battles didn't mesh well with Yoshi's ability to literally spit back and rebound anything Spyro could have fired off at him.
And when comparing the two stats, it becomes almost clear as day who holds the edge in this encounter. Like, come on. Spyro may have the capability to piece together entire planets, but what's to compare that to Yoshi's star levels of destructive capability?
Spyro's feat of bringing the planet back together is indeed impressive, but the raw amount of power Yoshi displayed in being able to launch Raphael as far as he did, combined with turning the Raven into his own constellation, makes Spyro's feat seem like mere child's play.
This divide in power also translates into the difference in their durability as well, which is kind of odd considering Spy Guy is the only one stacking any sort of actual armor. But let's not forget to mention, there was also a sizable gap in the speed category. The Purple Dragon's ability to dodge and move at sub-relativistic speeds isn't super impressive in comparison to the Green Dinosaur and the entire Mario vs. insane displays of speed.
The most impressive feat of speed Spyro has to his name is when he was pulling the planet back together, where the pieces were moving at 5% the speed of light. Meanwhile, Yoshi has feats, both from himself and from scaling, that easily puts him at several times over the speed of light. The feat from Raphael the Raven's boss fight in particular puts the Raven's speed of flight after being defeated as well over 40 million times the speed of light, completely dwarfing even Spyro's most impressive displays of speed.
Even when stacking Dragon Time, the percentage at which it functions still puts Spyro's speed under Yoshi's by a huge margin. In fact, it pretty much wouldn't help him at all.
Alright, I'm not even gonna argue. Spyro kinda gets blitzed here.
And while Dark Spyro would give Spyro a slightly better fighting chance, it doesn't tighten the gaps enough to give Spyro a win, especially due to Yoshi and Baby Mario's multiple invincibility-based forms.
That, right there, that's what I'm talking about. From the get-go, it was pretty obvious that their companions served two completely different purposes. Spyro and Sparks have been dependent on one another since birth, while Yoshi doesn't really need Baby Mario. Actually, it was kind of a handicap that he'd even have to watch this kid throughout the battle.
Sounds about right to me. Note that even without Baby Mario, it would make no difference. Spyro and Sparks simply couldn't match the stats of the dynamic dino duo.
Hey, at least Spyro's still alive. Otherwise, the Purple Dragons would have gone extinct.
You know what? Screw you, Manny.
Sis? Sis! Why is it every time I win, I still lose? Come back!
These two kids sure are something. The winners of this Battle Royale are Yoshi and Baby Mario.
What'd I say? Spyro had this. Well, okay. Spyro had pretty much lost this, since day one. When I saw this matchup announced, I was like very intrigued because I'm a huge Spyro fan. I really like Yoshi too, but
thanks to our patrons over on Patreon for directly supporting our channel.
But then I took some time to think about, all right, who's gonna win? And then I remembered the Raphael Raven feat, and I was like, oh, Yoshi's star level. Right.
And having your dream matchups made into reality. Finally, huge thanks to all of our friends, supporters, and fellow content
creators. But yeah, at least Spyro's still alive.
Helping us going in many different ways. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
I mean, heck,
Until we meet again.
Spyro even managed to get back up and do whatever it was he was doing afterwards. Next time? Battle Royale will return. Cool, but with what? Oh, they're not gonna say. Alright! It's kind of a bummer. Oh well. But yeah, that pretty much played out exactly how I thought it was going to. Luckily, I thought Spyro was gonna get completely knocked on. I knew neither of them were gonna die. That was regardless of who won, both were gonna survive the fight. But the thing is that since I was expecting Yoshi to win, I was expecting Spyro to get like completely knocked unconscious or something. Like there's the kind of like how Punisher was in Punisher versus Batman. Um, but no, Spyro just got back up, reunited with Sparks, and moved on with his life. I appreciate that. I like that a lot. So I'm perfectly okay with that ending, even though I did not want Yoshi to win. But yeah, that pretty much played out exactly how I thought it was going to. Yoshi's just too powerful and too fast. But yeah, that's pretty much how I thought this was gonna go. But I can definitely say that I liked it. I don't think it was like great, but it's definitely given the circumstances behind the scenes, I can accept this. Those Spyro sprites, man. I know exactly where they come from. Spyro and Crash had a crossover game. Actually, both had crossover games with each other that were basically the same game, but Spyro had Spyro Orange and Crash had Crash Purple. They were basically the same story, but in the different perspectives of Crash and Spyro. That's where those Spyro sprites come from. Is that crossover? And I don't think they're necessarily awful looking sprites, but they definitely seem hard to work with. At least compared to Yoshi. I do like the recoloring on Dark Spyro, as well as the light in his eyes. I like that touch. Like, it's the best you can do. Dark Spyro doesn't really have any sprites to work with. Voice acting was pretty decent, all things considered. I wish there was. I feel like there could have been a bit more oomph put into, like, more like feel going into, because it kind of felt like it was. It kind of felt. I read the description. Leopold the Brave, the voice of Fax, played Spyro, and this guy has too long. I don't have the site in front of me, but Mage, who has way too long of a username for me to read off of the entire thing, played Sparks. I'm not going to comment on Sparks in terms of like the voice, because Sparks' voice changes all the time. But Leo sounded pretty decent as Spyro, but the only criticism I'll give for that is it felt like it kind of felt like the two were just like reading off the script. Like, it was like imagine I have the script on my phone, right? It's just, hey guys, I'm Spyro. I had a stutter. That's probably unfair. Okay, so let me try this again. It's like, hey guys, I'm Spyro the Dragon. How you guys doing? That kind of stuff. That's kind of how it was just reading off of the script. Like, it wasn't really like, yeah, I'm Spyro the Dragon. No. But yeah, so, yeah, it was a bit choppy. The animation, anyway, was a bit choppy for me, but that could just be my computer being as, the laggy piece of crap that it is. Heck, why do you think this is in 2 parts, even though it's going to be in 1 part during editing? Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It was good. I'm talking like I have no idea what I'm talking about. It was good. I do kind of like with the abilities that they had Sparks. English is not my strong suit, and by that I mean talking is not my strong suit. Anyways, they showed off a bunch of abilities for Sparks during the pre-analysis, so I was kind of hoping they would have some cool stuff for Sparks to show off. But whatever. Sparks isn't really known for doing like all sorts of cool crap. Not just Baby Mario, but still. Baby Mario is known for crying all the time. But yeah, I can't really say this was unexpected, but I definitely enjoyed it. And there's no next time to talk about. I kind of hoped they would have something at least, like maybe drop a character. I know they said at the beginning that they're gonna be taking a break, which is completely understandable. But I kind of wish there would have been at least something to keep us to kind of have something to be excited for. I guess I don't know. I say that, and there's probably some reason behind why they didn't have it next time, but and again, I understand the need for a break. I totally get it. Take as long as you need. I just wish there would have been at least something that could like, something that at least so that we're not feeling like we're I don't know what it is I'm trying to say. At least so they're not trying to leave us hanging. That's basically what I was trying to say. Yeah, I'm not like saying like where's the next. No, it's fine. They'll announce it when they feel they need to. They'll announce it when they feel it's the right time. Yeah. I was just kind of hoping there would be something, but oh well. I don't mean to get picky here. Yeah, I can't. There's nothing really else I can say. It's a good episode to return on. The break is very much understandable and needed. So please please Ray, whoever else is. I don't know who's on the team anymore. Everyone who's on the team, that watches this video, take as long as you need. That's totally fine with me. But I do look forward to seeing what you guys have in store, at whatever date you are comfortable with announcing it. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. Good episode. Character I was rooting for lost, but the character I thought was going to win did win, so good on you, Yoshi, even though I did not want you to win. But alright. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to go downstairs to make sure that my dog is still alive. I say that, my dog's not freaking dying. I've just been up here for about an hour trying to record this video because my computer is a piece of crap. And I have not checked on Gunner, so I'm gonna go do that. So I'm gonna leave it there. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye everybody.